Alright guys, welcome back to the shop, part 52. I don't know how many parts are going to be in this series, but anyway, we got the door pretty much. I had to go back yesterday. I sanded the patch down. I had to go back and put a little more on it. It was a little low right in here, and I also had to add a little bit around this edge. And this door should be, today after I get that sanded down, should be ready to seal once I prime it, etching primer. And I got in here yesterday and I sanded down this cab. I got something on my lens, but yeah, I know a lot of y'all like this color, and it was a pretty color. It just wasn't the color for this truck. If I'd had say a car or like a muscle car or something like that, it would have been a beautiful color on it. But it was just too bright for what this truck's supposed to be. And I went ahead and sanded all the cab. Went ahead and put a little body filler up here. I got to sand that down, get rid of that dent. Had another place I noticed down here at the bottom where I missed, so I went ahead and filled that in. And I also went ahead and sanded the inside. This color that was in here would have been about the right color, but since I'm gonna paint it black, it's probably gonna change. That was fun sanding all that. I did use a Scotch-Brite on some of that though. It's just, some of this stuff is just too hard to get to with sandpaper. And I missed a spot here. I got to come back and get that. You can tell where it's shiny. It's still clear coat, and that clear coat has got to be scuffed up for paint to stick to it. And I'm afraid I'm gonna have some issues in places like this. It's hard to get into. I may have to work on that again. But anyway, we're gonna paint it all black seal it, primer sealer or epoxy primer. All right, once I get all this sealed with black epoxy sealer, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna spray the blue. I'm gonna spray the blue all over everything, and then I'm gonna come back and mask off and paint the gray over the blue. I think it's just going to be a lot easier to do the whole blue and then mask for the top and the bottom. Hopefully it won't get overspray on the blue too bad. I'll try to do a good job of masking. And the reason being is if I'm painting the gray, I'm probably going to end up getting gray on certain areas. When I painted this gray originally, I did come down a little bit. It really didn't affect the color of that blue too much, but I'm afraid it'll have a light spot if I don't mask it. So if I'm gonna have to mask to paint the gray, I might as well just paint the blue and then paint the gray over top of it and just mask the blue. So hopefully today we'll get the sealer done, and tomorrow we'll get the blue sprayed and then mask it, spray the gray, and then take the masking off and clear coat everything. So that's the plan. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna go ahead and touch up these little areas I found, walk around it good, and sand down the body filler and get that ready to seal. I got to give it a bath. Get all this dust off of it. So it's going to take a little while to dry before I can seal it. So that's what I'm working towards today, Saturday. Alright, so when we come back, hopefully we'll look a little better. Alright guys, got this final body filler on here. You can see the small area. When I started sanding it, had body filler from one edge to the other. Right down here, just a little bit. Fill in some low spots. Door's a little bit ripply, but ain't a whole lot I can do. I don't want to put a lot of filler on the edge because it'll easily get cracked and start peeling out. So got that done. Also got this down here sanded and primed, and up here sanded and primed. Waiting on the primer to dry before I can start giving this cab a bath. I also decided to upgrade my air system. Went ahead and bought the Camair QC3, and it's got a little indicator that turns either pink or white when it gets too wet. So I'm hoping I can get by. I got another cartridge for it. I'm hoping I can get by at least halfway through painting. I'm getting a lot of air, a lot of water out of my system, and it also has a pressure gauge built in on the out. This is the outlet side. The inlet side got a little cutoff valve. So when you ain't using it, you need to leave it cut off so it don't absorb moisture from the atmosphere. When I installed it, I kind of installed it at a slight angle, and I didn't mean to, but that's the way it was. So I'm gonna do that. Plus, I'm also gonna put the little filters on the end at the gun, just for double insurance, because I do not want any water messing up my paint. So that wasn't a cheap. I think I give a little over $200 for this, plus an extra filter. I think the filters was almost 50 bucks for a filter. So not cheap, but compared to buying a bunch more paint and having to sand everything back down and all that crap, good investment if you're gonna do painting at home. So I got it just mounted with some lag bolts or lag screws. I can take it out, I can move it around, whatever I got to do with it. I really wished I had a shorter hose. I need about a 25-foot hose in here. I got way too much damn hose, but I'm thinking about swapping it out for this black hose that's on my air compressor. I believe it's a 25-footer. So anyway, guys, we're gonna wait for this to dry. It's got to dry. Primer's got to dry at least 15 minutes before you can wet it down. So we'll let it dry and get back in here and give this cab a good bath. And then, of course, we got to get all the water out of it, and we may end up having to let it dry all evening before I can seal it. So we'll see how long it takes. Really, the worst part of getting dry is the dash. It likes to trap water up in them little nooks and crannies. But anyway, we'll get back in here when we get ready to after we give it a bath. All right, guys, I got her washed down and dried. Just went back with a towel, and you know what? I've got to hit this again. I missed that little spot. That sucks. You want to be sure get every drop of water up in this trough here. There was some where it had dripped down, had pooled up, but most of the water I cleaned up using microfiber towels. As soon as I got done washing it, I wiped it down good, and then I let it sit for a little bit to make sure everything was dry. And I just completely missed these areas. All right, guys, so far I got interrupted. I went ahead and hit these areas. I still missed a little bit right there. You don't want to see anything shiny if you're going to be painting over clear coat, because if it's shiny and I missed that spot, I'll go back and touch up that. If it's shiny, it may not stick. It's like a little bit down in there. So what I did, like I said, I washed it out and washed it with soap and water, rinsed it off good, come back with a microfiber towel, dried everything out by hand, and I let it sit for a few hours. I come back, and any water that had hidden had dripped down. I cleaned it up, and now I'm ready, basically, almost, except for just a few spots, to put my primer sealer on. Unfortunately, I don't know if y'all can hear this thunder. It's thundering. I think we're fixing to get a little storm here, and I don't really want to be painting and it raining. The more moisture in the air, the more the air compressor is going to grab it, the faster it's going to stop it, contaminate my filters and get in the paint. But got my fan set up, so I'm probably going to wait till tomorrow to spray it. I don't think it'll take long. I think about 3 hours after I spray it, it'll be dry enough to mask, which I ain't gonna even mask that first. I'm just gonna spray it, let it sit for whatever drying time it needs, probably less than an hour to be able to top coat it. Go ahead and spray the blue, and then let it sit for about 3 hours, tape it, and spray the tan, or the gray, not the tan, the gray, and then we'll be ready to clear coat. So hopefully we'll get everything done tomorrow. It's going to be a long day. They're calling for a chance of rain. I also got my door ready to seal. I'm going to go ahead and seal it when I seal the cab. I don't have the other door ready yet because I just didn't have room to work on it. And we'll seal it, turn it around, and seal the back side of it. I did have to do a little bit of repairs on the back side. I don't think it's really going to show once I get the carpet underneath the door panel, but I went ahead and filled some in. So I'm going to go ahead and hit these little spots, and I'm going to call it a day. It's only about 3 p.m. But like I said, if it's going to rain, I don't want to be down here painting, especially in a thunderstorm. So I got this big ass lightning rod right over my shop. So thanks for watching. I'll get the next video, be part 52. Hopefully we'll be done with the paint in the next video. So thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't.